Yeah, what's up, buddy? I got good news and bad news. Bad news is I'm in the hospital right now with probably a broken wrist. The good news is world record kid. 55.65.
Remember, you're looking at the Red Sox hat. Okay. Check. I actually got started in speed kiting based on a trip we did in Costa Rica, and I was doing some fun drag races with Gephardt and Damian Leroy, and actually just got sick and tired of being beaten freestyle by Damian. So I said, what's a good way I can beat this guy? And I finally said, you know what, I bet you I'm faster than him. So that kind of started the whole process right there and then. Like, tell us about your training. I sail as much as I possibly can. I live in a great place that has wind 2 to 3 times a week on average. We sail from April through November. You get a lot of 9-meter days, a lot of days in excess of 30-35 knots, which is great for speed kiting. And other than that, I'm in the gym 3 days a week. I'm on the mountain bike 3 days a week. Yoga 3 to 5 days a week. And in the water in one form or another, either surfing or kiting as much as possible. Living in Luders for 5 weeks at a time every year is, to describe it, probably be just a real challenge. The place is very remote, very isolated, blows probably 1 to 2 days a week in excess of 30-35 knots, but 2 to 3 times a month you can get 45 to 50 plus. And you have about 3 or 4 days in advance warning that the weather's going to come that way, which gives you a lot of time to think about what you're going to put yourself in and what the situation you're going to face. This year, 3 to 4 meter wide trench, 750 meters long, and we knew that to set an outright world record this year, we're going to have to beat Alex at 54. So an extreme mental challenge, something I've never faced before in the sport, but was able to rise to the occasion and set an outright world record. And my arch nemesis in the sport of kite speed has definitely been Alex Kazagaris, F21. First bumped into him in Fuerteventura in 2008. Had the opportunity to beat him, place second. He placed third. He was a current world record holder at the time and world champion. So went to Luders that year. He beat me by 0.03 of a knot, 0.03. We went to the World Championships in France, and he beat me again. And again in 2009, he beat me amazingly by 0.03. And this year in 2010, he had the opportunity to go out and put a perfect run down, about a 54 knot run. I was at 51.8 knots, so at 2 knots better than me. It looked like I had a serious challenge ahead of me. About 2 weeks later, the weather came through. We got about 45 knots of wind and had the ability to just put everything together that we've learned over the last 2 years and lay down a 55.5 knot run and finally beat him and take the world championship and the world record. Yeah, October 28th, had a forecast in Luders of about 40 to 50 knots, depending. Low tide was at 1:30, so we knew the course was going to be ultra fast, but it's going to be seriously dangerous. At 2 o'clock, Mike made the call to make a run. Sebastian already made 2 runs in about 53 to 54 knot range, which was pretty much almost new world record territory. Went to the top of the course a little bit after 2 o'clock, put the kite into the zone, held on through the first few moments of acceleration and knew I had something special, so continued the run. My initial thought was maybe do a 53, maybe 54 knot run. I don't really remember much of the run besides the finish. Heard Mike yelling pretty loudly, looked up at the TV screen, saw the 55.5 on the screen, and knew we had a real good chance at a new world record. Took the next run about 20 minutes later, and had a good run. The wind was a little bit more square. Came across the finish line, and remembering the first run, the board almost caught me in the face, so I kind of wanted to get away from the board. Tried something that I won't try again, went head first, and ended up getting a pretty good beat down, and broke the big bone in my wrist, shattered it pretty well, and packed it up, went back to the hospital in Luderitz. It's kind of a weird hospital if anyone's ever been there before, and decided at that time probably not to do the anesthesia in that town, but to get back on a jet, go back to Boston, probably some of the best doctors in the world, and get it fixed, and we'll be back on the water in 6 to 8 weeks.
So the 2010 World Championship came at the price of what?
Yeah, I made a comment to my brother 3 or 4 days before the world record date, and said, you know, I'm willing to break an ankle or break a wrist for a new world record, but I'm not willing to break anything more. And ended up breaking the wrist, which was the better of the two. So I'd rather have a broken wrist than a broken ankle. And we got the scars to prove it, buddy. And the future of speed kiting is an exciting period of time right now. I think all the boats that were above 50 knots with Hydropter and Macquarie Innovation and Sail Rocket, those guys are going to have a hard time, real tough time going up to 55 knots. The windsurfers haven't been above 50 yet, so I think right now it's the kiters, which mainly means Alex, myself, and Sebastian are going to be continuing our battles to see who the fastest human being under sail power is. The battle for the outright world record is going to continue. I hope the boats come back and put a little pressure on us, because that always makes it more fun, more interesting. But 2010, probably the biggest or the best thing that happened in 2010 was that the kiters were able to take back the world's outright speed record from the French trimaran Hydropter.
What's up, buddy? Can't sleep. I want to see a doctor today. Should be alright, kid. It hurts a little bit, but that's going to be alright, I think. And that's it, dude. Just want to touch base. Yep, sitting back in Boston. Pretty happy, buddy. Give me a call when you get a chance, alright?